Welcome, travelers through the realms of ancient myth and legend. Tonight, we journey to the snowy mountains and quiet valleys of Europe, where an old legend tells of angels, starlight, and the creation of the very first snowflake, a gift of heaven to mark the birth of Christ. The legend of the first snowflake. Imagine this: a cold winter night descending over the ancient lands of Europe. The forests stand dark and silent. The mountains lie frozen beneath a pale moon. And in that stillness, so deep that even the wind seems to pause, an old legend begins. According to the ancient folklore of the Alpine and Germanic world, on the night of Christ's birth, the heavens themselves stirred. High above the mountains and valleys, the angels looked down upon the earth, watching humanity prepare for a moment that would reshape history. This legend has been preserved in oral traditions, especially in regions that are now southern Germany, Switzerland, Austria, and northern Italy, passed down through generations of shepherds, villagers, and storytellers. And this legend says that on that sacred night, the angels wanted to mark the birth of the Savior with a gift, not one made of gold, or stone, or earthly riches, but something pure, delicate, and heavenly. They gathered the light of distant stars, soft and pale, the kind of light that falls just before dawn. They mixed it with the silence of winter, that unique stillness found only when snow is about to fall. And they began to weave those elements together, shaping tiny crystals with careful celestial hands. Thus, according to the old storytellers, the first snowflake was created. It was not just frozen water, not in the minds of those who passed this legend through generations. It was a symbol, a fragment of heaven, a whisper of divine light. And when the angels released it, the crystal floated downward, shimmering as it fell through the night air. When it touched the earth, the world seemed to soften. The darkness felt less heavy. The cold felt less cruel. Folklorists believe this legend may have roots in pre-Christian winter traditions of northern and central Europe. Among ancient Germanic peoples, snow was often seen as a blessing of the gods, a protective blanket laid over the earth as it slept through winter. Winter festivals, like the Yule celebrations, included lighting fires, feasts, and rituals meant to honor nature's cycles and protect the household. These customs survived and gradually merged with Christian traditions as Christianity spread across the continent. The protective snows of ancient myth became the gentle blessing of angels, falling upon fields, forests, and quiet villages to mark the birth of Christ. In some regions, people believed that the first snowfall of the season carried a sacred power. If you caught a snowflake on your palm without letting it melt, it meant good fortune. If it landed on your hair, it meant purity of heart. And if the snowfall began on Christmas Eve, families would step outside in silence, believing that heaven was closer to earth than on any other night. There is even an old belief recorded in parts of Bavaria and Tyrol that no two snowflakes are alike, because each one was shaped by a different angel, a reflection of the belief that every soul is unique, every life unrepeatable. Historical accounts and regional folklore also suggest that shepherds in the Alps would watch the snowfall closely during Christmas time, associating the falling snow with divine favor, protection for their flocks, and blessings for the village. These oral histories have been recorded in ethnographic studies since the 19th century, particularly in Germanic-speaking areas where winter customs blend pagan and Christian elements. These were not fairy tales invented to entertain children. They were the way ancient people explained the mysteries of nature, weaving the world they saw with the faith they held. Snow, which blanketed the harsh winter landscape, was not just weather. It was a symbol of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest, coldest season, beauty could fall from the sky. And so the legend endured. It traveled from snowy mountains to quiet valleys, from old wooden cottages to bustling towns. It survived centuries of wars, migrations, and changing beliefs. And it remains, even now, one of the most delicate stories of European winter. The idea that the very first snowflake was not an accident of nature, but a gift crafted with intention, a message of peace descending from heaven. Imagine it one last time. A silent night stretched across the ancient frost-covered world, the sky glowing faintly with starlight, the air crisp, waiting. And then the first snowflake drifting downward, gentle as a breath, pure as light. Maybe it truly happened that way. Or maybe it was simply what people longed to believe, that in a cold and difficult world, even the smallest thing could carry a divine message. With time, the winters passed, generations changed, and the old villages modernized. But the story of that first snowflake, it survived, rising above everything we can prove, everything we can measure, just like the snowflakes themselves, that fall, melt, and vanish, yet never stop returning. Perhaps it was a blessing written in crystal. Perhaps it was an echo of older, forgotten myths. Perhaps it was the most beautiful winter tale ever told. Until next time, may your winter nights be calm, your days bright, and may every snowflake remind you that even the smallest things can carry a hint of heaven. Thank you for watching. If this legend touched you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss another journey into the ancient stories that shaped our world.